Hey everybody, this is John Ingallina. I am pumped, excited to be on this Monday night web training with you. I just want to welcome you. There are so many great web trainings that are important and they're educational and they're immensely helpful in teaching you and me how to build a strong AdvoCare business. But this one, in my mind, is critical. These points were all taught to us through our AdvoCare career, and I appreciate the opportunity to pay it forward to you. So let's have some fun tonight, and let's get right into this training. Just a little slide on myself and my wife. We started AdvoCare back in May of 2009. We've gone up to the 9-star Emerald leadership level. And just real briefly, before we started AdvoCare, you can see we were $30,000 in credit card debt. We had a $140,000 mortgage, and we have very little money that was saved for our college education, very little saved for retirement. But since joining AdvoCare, we've got all of that credit card debt paid off. We have our mortgage paid off. We've been paying for our college for our daughter and building retirement up. And on the left at the bottom there too, you can see that AdvoCare has also blessed us and enhanced our lives with incentive trips. We were able to go to Hawaii in November of 2010. We went to Atlantis in October of 2011, and we're going with some other great friends next month on the Venetian cruise. So other ways that it's enhanced our lives, thousands of others, and certainly can enhance your life as well. So why leadership, or why silver leadership? Why am I saying that this webinar is so critical? This is the first leadership level on your path to diamond. It's the first ring on the ladder. You may have seen from the previous slide that I have some martial arts schools and I teach martial arts. And so for me, the way that I look at it is it's like getting a yellow belt in AdvoCare. All right. It's difficult because everything is brand new when we start an AdvoCare and we decide we're going to make a business out of this. The language is new. The concepts are new. The comp plan is new. Just everything is. So we have to kind of digest and learn all of this from the beginning. It's our first leadership level of duplication and team building. So this is really where we experience the foundation of what AdvoCare is built on. It's the primary requirement for the LEADS program, which we're going to get into just a little bit. And we're utilizing the success system and becoming a true business owner. So you may recall the tagline on these Monday night web trainings is from dabblery to mastery. And this is where we're taking the leap. This is the big step, going from just kind of a part-time product user, maybe sharing it with a few people, to truly building a business with AdvoCare. And now we start to begin to internalize this philosophy. This is a great quote from Zig Ziglar that says, help enough people get what they want, and you'll get what you want. This slide is just a phenomenal slide. Some of you may have seen it. Some of you newer may have not seen this. But this is the income disclosure and comparable salary slide. So you'll see that the silver, which we're talking about tonight, is the top. It's that first rung on the ladder, if you will. But if you look over to the right, you're going to see some really great, noble careers. They're all phenomenal jobs, highly respectable. But you'll see what AdvoCare can do on a part-time basis that we're doing in addition to our regular full-time job and what this can lead up to. There is no other opportunity that I have ever seen, I mean, really, bar none, that can allow us as a team and as individuals to earn this kind of income, to influence our families and our communities in this way. There's just nothing. You're not trading time for dollars. You're building up a business that is going to pay you residually for years and years. So it's so worth going through these trainings and building this up the right way, because it'll be with you forever. So what are the nuts and bolts for silver leadership? What do we have to have in order to qualify for silver? Well, we have to be an advisor in good standing. We have to have our Everything has to be cool with AdvoCare. We can't be doing things that we're not supposed to be doing. We're not selling things on eBay. We're abiding by the AdvoCare principles. We have to have 5 retail sales per pay period. This is called retail sales compliance. And for those of you out there teaching silver, because I know there's people learning silver for the first time and there's other people that are still teaching silver like myself, we have to remind our teammates that retail sales compliance portion of the microsite has to be filled out every pay period. Then we also have to have $1,000 of personal group volume per pay period to get a silver bonus. And how do we get that $1,000 of personal and group volume? Well, really these 4 ways. And I go over this with my new teammates all the time because oftentimes they can think, oh my gosh, do I have to put in $1,000 of PGV every pay period? And so here's where we have the conversation. First of all, that's retail amount. But you're going to get that amount from personal orders, certainly. And I know that Mary Ellen and I, we love AdvoCare. This is a big part of our daily regimen. So we put our personal orders in right at the beginning of the pay period. But it's also going to compose of new distributors or new advisors. So new people that you're talking to every day about AdvoCare. That's going to count towards your PGV. It's current distributors. By distributors, we mean people that are product users that are not advisors on your team. So those 20, 25, and 30% discount members, all of their orders are going to count towards your PGV. And then also your cap orders. Somebody goes to advocare.com / puts your numbers in, either through the leads program or you give them that website, then anything that they order is going to count towards your PGV. And then also for our silver leadership, we have to have $100 in override. And we're going to get into that on this slide right here. So what I want you to look at here is the constant on here that's not going to change is that override equals 7% of business volume down 3 levels of advisors. Now, if you're not quite understanding some of these terms or I'm going through them too quickly, that's okay. Just take a note down, talk to your mentor, your coach, your upline leader, all right? And they'll fully explain anything that you need to know. So the pin level that we're discussing tonight is silver. In order to get silver bonus, we need to have $3,000 of retail volume through our advisors. The override amount that $3,000 of retail volume will get us is $105. Plus, we'll earn that 3% leadership bonus. The silver leadership bonus is an extra 3% on that volume through the advisors. In 2012, the average silver pin earner earned $12,803. So this is significant, measurable income that comes into these families. It's huge for us. All right, and that's, you see the monthly amount right there. I mean, just imagine putting an extra $1,000 plus in your pocket, or even more importantly, in the pocket of a teammate every single month. I mean, it's huge, and it always leads to their ascension up that leadership level. Remember, it starts at silver, but it doesn't stop there. They're going to go right through the golds, right through the rubies and the emeralds, and into that diamond environment. It's got to start with silver, though. Okay, so just to summarize this, $3,000 equals $1,500 of business volume. All right, you divide $3,000 by 2, you get $1,500 of business volume times 7% override, and that's going to give us our $105 override, qualifies us for silver, assuming we met that other criteria from the previous slide. So let me give you a few scenarios, and I do apologize, these slides may not be the best, but you'll get the picture. In this first example, you reach $3,000 in team volume from one advisor that sponsors a new advisor. Okay, so you're at the top there, you have an advisor, and that advisor brings in that new advisor. Well, they get $3,000 of PGV. they're going to earn a $300 commission, and you're going to earn a $105 override, which is going to qualify you for an extra 3% of silver leadership. So that's $45. And that's just on that one order. That's the minimum amount. And so really what we want to do is build a bunch of silvers. In this example, it shows how you can get your $3,000 of team volume through 3 advisors. And all these 3 advisors are doing in this example is sponsoring 2 distributors at the $500 level. So you'll see that each one of those advisors has $1,000 in PGV. That's $3,000 in retail volume through your advisors, and you attain your silver leadership qualifications again. And then this one I like to show too, because this just shows the 24-day challenges, which really are the flagship program that we have. And so in this example, we reached $3,000 in team volume with 2 advisors that, or the 2 advisors that are under us, each do a group 24-day challenge, and they each have 8 customers. Now, yes, this is hypothetical, it's theoretical, but still you get to see what happens when a couple of your teammates, by your mentorship, run a couple 24-day challenges, get people feeling good and looking better and feeling healthy. Well, all of this is going to come up to you and help you on your way to silver and certainly above. So let's summarize this. Silver leadership is a 3% extra bonus on top of your override, and this occurs when, number 1, we have $1,000 of PGV. That gives us the eligibility to collect that silver leadership. 2, we have over $100 in override in a pay period that gives us our silver bonus. And if we do this 2 consecutive pay periods, we earn a silver pin, which is a really, really cool thing. I remember when we started AdvoCare that, I didn't think too much of these pins. And I'm telling you, man, when I got that silver pin, that was like Christmas in the Ingallina house. I put that thing up, I put it on, I think I modeled it to myself in the mirror. And I didn't think any of this stuff really mattered to me. But I'm telling you, it does. Because it's a proud moment when you see that first pin level, because you just know that you're only going up from there. Our compensation plan in AdvoCare is dynamic. It's not static. It's not once you get your silver pin, you just kind of stay there. You have to reach that every pay period that you want that bonus, which I think is phenomenal because it draws true leaders, true go-getters to our company. And it's dynamic from the standpoint also that silver leads us to more benefits. I talked earlier about the LEADS program. Now, the LEADS program is open to silver level and above that meet the following criteria during prior quarter. Okay, they have silver status for at least 3 periods in that quarter. So they've earned that silver bonus 3 times during the quarter. They have at least 3 new frontline recruits in that quarter. And they've attended the last Success School or enrolled for the upcoming Success School. Now, the LEADS, the new qualification period for LEADS, begins October 1st. So get your hats on, everybody. If you're not on the LEADS program right now, you're going to be on it after the next quarter. Put that down, write it down in your notes right now. You are going to make that. Mary Ellen and I average at least 1 lead every pay period. That is 1 person that contacts us with a specific need for an AdvoCare conversation every pay period. So you get onto the leads by obtaining that silver bonus. And I tell you, it's just another way that AdvoCare helps us. So somebody goes to AdvoCare.com, they're looking for a product, AdvoCare will send them the 5 closest zip codes or a site that they'll go on. And again, they'll choose you or they'll choose somebody on that team that they connect with. So get on the LEADS program. The other thing that the silver leadership starts to build us toward is the leadership team That's Success School. And the leadership team is where you get to go to special training that is only available to the leadership team. All right, you go to Success School a day early, and you really hear from some of the leaders, the top people in AdvoCare on how to build your business. And for that, you need an average override of $250 per period for the designated period between Success Schools. So going back to our $105 override, you probably need to get 3 people getting silver bonuses on a regular basis in order to get your override up to an average of $250 per pay period. Everybody on this call can do that. If you weren't a champion, if you weren't a go-getter, and I mean this, you wouldn't be on this call tonight. You're on the call because you're looking for a way to improve your AdvoCare business. And I'm telling you, if you apply these strategies that were taught to me, you're on your way there already. So average $250 override, you enroll at least one new frontline advisor, somebody that's brand new to the system during the time frame between the Success Schools. Okay? So what's the best way at moving ourselves and our teammates to the silver leadership level and above? I've talked to you a lot about what's required to get there from a nuts and bolts standpoint. What are the numbers? So now how do we put that into motion? How do we get people to silver? Well, we're going to camp out on this slide for a few minutes here. This was designed by Matt Warren. It's on the website buildthechampion.com. It's just a phenomenal document because it takes us right through the process and progress of the success system. So what do we do at first? We connect with people. And the way we connect is with products, right? That's always our lead in products and business, but we have to have products to start with. I mean, I always start somebody with a spark. The tools that we connect with people on. So we're talking to somebody about AdvoCare. Is AdvoCare a fit for them? We're utilizing the tools. The Impact magazine, the Snapshots magazine. We're pulling out the DVD. We're doing a 2-on-1, and we're showing them clips of somebody that has something in common with this person that we're talking to. We send them to the Why AdvoCare page at buildthechampion.com, and we have them view these videos, the lifestyle movie, the advisor movie, the 24-day challenge movie. I'm utilizing those so much more in my business. Mary Ellen is as well. And we're seeing people coming into AdvoCare a lot more now because they're looking at those movies. They're seeing a professionally done movie. It's giving them all the information so that they can make the best decision based on what they need from AdvoCare. And from that, we're utilizing the fundamentals, the one-on-one appointments, the 2-on-1, the 3-way calls. These are critical. They're critical. The 2-on-1 and the 3-way calls are critical for credibility. We're holding mixers and we're helping with mixers and we're encouraging people to do mixers. Okay? And we're getting our team on buildthechampion.com. That should be a bookmark on everybody's homepage. Okay? You connect people with upline leadership through 3-way calls, local events. All right? Get them on the website. Connect them with AdvoCare. So now they're in AdvoCare. All right? Now we're going to guide them. This is the teaching piece of it. All right? It's going to lead into the training. But we help them achieve advisor, and we help them move product. We help them show other people how to look, feel, and perform better. We help them with their purpose. All right? We sit down with them. I do this all the time, and I help them identify a strong reason for building AdvoCare. And it's not just to make more money. What is that money going to allow them to do that they're not currently able to do? What's their vision? What's their dream? Then we'll help them understand and put together a list. This is another area that I did not do at first, and it hindered my progress, our progress, for the first 3 or 4 months of AdvoCare. We just didn't take the time to do the list. We didn't think it was important. It was told to us to do it, but as soon as we did this, everybody, our business in the first year started to explode. We packaged our story. We teach people how to package their stories, and we demonstrate the fundamentals by going on these calls with them. They're doing the calls with them, doing the 2-on-1s, showing them how they can duplicate that process to their teammates that they're bringing in and mentoring AdvoCare through. All right, and then we continuously train them. We show them the importance, and we model getting on these Monday night web trainings. I've seen every single one of them. We're at the local trainings and events. Now, can you be at every one? Yeah, probably. And I know that things come up. But it's funny because, I'll speak to somebody that they're all into AdvoCare. They want to get there. And we just had a 360 event. And I said, are you coming to a 360 event? No, can't make it because of ... Well, that's okay. No judgment here. But then don't tell me that you're doing everything to push your AdvoCare business forward. Or I'll ask them, are you going to Success School? And if they're not signed up for Success School, what that tells me is that they're not vested in their AdvoCare business. All right. So, I'll work with anybody. I'll walk hand in hand, but I will not carry somebody along this AdvoCare path. They need to sign up for Success School. But I'll show them the importance of that website training. I'll get them to regional events. And as I said, I'll certainly get them to Success School and let them know the importance. So you guys, this is exactly what getting somebody to silver is. You just do these things over and over. You're going to see on the next slide or two that you got to treat this like a business. AdvoCare can provide so much benefit to you and to your families, but you got to put time and effort and importance into working with people, getting them to silver, and showing them how to get others to silver. You do that, and your success in this company is virtually guaranteed. So just a few final thoughts. Rick Loy was in town last weekend, and he quoted this. I've heard this from so many of our leaders throughout AdvoCare. Charlie Raga said, work harder on yourself than on anything else. If your business isn't doing well, the person you should look at is right in the mirror. Okay, we're all guilty at some point of blaming other people, man. Nope, you got to work on yourself harder than on anything else. Do something that improves your value to your country and your community and your family every day. Read. Readers are leaders. You've heard that, and it's so true. I start my morning out with reading every day because I'm just trying to continue to become more and more successful. There's a great book that I've read many times, and I'm just finishing it again, called The Four Agreements. It's by an author named Don Miguel Ruiz. And it's just a great book. I would encourage everybody to get it. But the first agreement is to be impeccable with your word. And that's not just your word to others, but the internal dialogue that your mind listens to. Be impeccable with that. I mean, it's funny because your brain will say something and it'll listen to something at the same time, right? It's a wild thing if you think about it. So you've got to say the right things so that you can hear the right things. So hopefully that makes sense. And we need to take ownership. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart, man. We are the CEO of our AdvoCare business. Yes, it is part-time. And yes, you can fit it in. But keep this in mind. You're the CEO of your AdvoCare business. Your AdvoCare business will go exactly where you, as that leader, takes it. Not a step further and not a step behind. It's going to be exactly where you want to take it. And here's a great quote that kind of just establishes that point. Treat it like a business, and it can pay you like a business. Right? Enough said right there. The ultimate key to your better future is you. So, listen, thanks so much for listening, and hopefully I gave you some information that's going to be helpful. Just keep building your AdvoCare business, stick and stay, and do your best to become excellent at AdvoCare, and AdvoCare will be excellent for you. Good night, everybody.